All right, welcome to the Common Resume and CV Mistakes Part 1. Your resume or CV may have some mistakes, and here are some of the common ones, and if you fix them, you'll increase your chances at landing your next job interview. So in this video, I'll be discussing some of the common mistakes many people make on their resume or CV, and also share with you how to fix them, and at the end, I'll be also sharing with you some other resume and CV tips. I'm Professor Job Offer, and I've spent the last 10 years with a number of Forbes Global 2000 companies, and I've helped people land interviews and job offers at companies like this. And I'm here to share with you my tips and tricks on landing your next job offer. So let's dive right into the very first common mistake, the general resume or the generic resume. So I'm talking about the one-size-fits-all resume where somebody is using the exact same resume that is not tailored to apply to every single position. And the problems this actually causes causes are that you're actually missing the opportunity to highlight your specific skills and experiences that are relevant to the job you're applying for. And also when the hiring manager looks at the general or generic resume, which they can actually tell right away, it really demonstrates lack of interest to the company that you're applying for. And as compared to other candidates who have customized and tailored their resume, your resume may not make it through the ATS, the applicant tracking system. So the solution here, very simple. Well, it's not tailored, so you should tailor your resume to each of the job categories or the position you're applying for, at least, using specific skills and experiences that are right on the job posting or the job description to increase your chances at getting through the first round. And second common mistake is the unprofessional email address. You might have these types of email addresses that you've been using for ever since you were in like elementary school, but hey, none of these are really deemed as professional, maybe except for the very last one, which is a part of the number pi. But the solution here, very simple. Go get a professional email address, something that uses your first initial and the last name, and try to minimize the use of numbers. Keep it below 2 or 3 digits if possible. So anyhow, that brings us to the third common mistake, the poorly written summary. A summary section is actually the very first section that should be on your resume, right below the header. And summary also should include the types of skills and achievements and highlights that you have based on your experiences, and it should also be tailored to the position you're applying for. So your summary on a resume that you're applying for a marketing position is going to be different for your summary if you're applying for a sales position, and it should be between about 3 to 5 lines or 3 to 5 bullet points. And if your summary does not look like this, then the solution here is actually I have a full video on how to write a stunning resume summary with some examples. And in this video, I discuss what you should be including in your summary, specific details, as well how to structure your summary. There's actually a couple different ways to structure resume summaries, and I'll be sharing with you, I think, about 4 to 5 different examples of some very well-written summaries to give you an idea of it. Okay, fourth common mistake is including a photo. What does that mean? Well, it means literally means to throw a photo of yourself on your resume. Actually, if you include a photo, this may be a grounds for discrimination by the HR or the hiring manager, and also it is deemed unprofessional to include a photo, and also having a picture on there, your resume may not be so ATS friendly, so may not make it through that first round of screening by the applicant tracking system. Although there is a little disclaimer, because this particular company, it's a $20 billion company, actually one of the largest in the world in its industry. And they actually specifically ask for a photograph along with your CV or a resume. So this is very specific to this industry, and if you're wondering which company and industry this is, then just comment below, and I'll comment on that. So unless the company specifically asks for a photograph, then you should not be including it on your resume. So solution: if you have a photo, remove it. Simple. And fifth common mistake is the file type. You might have seen, if you've applied for jobs or if you've looked at applying for jobs, you might have seen that companies specifically ask for certain file extensions. Like Netflix here, they ask for a PDF or doc or docx, Word document, or TXT text files. And companies will only accept certain types of file extensions because anything outside of that range will be not ATS friendly, so ATS will not be able to recognize the file type, and it'll just show that you have no experiences or nothing on your resume. And this is also for formatting reasons. If you don't include the file type that's specified, and the formatting may look off on the receiver's computer. So that's the reason why. So solution here is I always recommend using the PDF extension, and in case you didn't know, PDF stands for Portable Document Format. So always save your resume as a PDF and to submit it as PDF. Okay, sixth common mistake is the bullet points. What do I mean by bullet points? Well, you can either have too few or too many, and I think 3 to 6 bullet points is usually just right. And the solution here, if you don't have enough, we'll start thinking about what other skills and experiences you can highlight. But if you have too many, like this individual who has worked at a coffee shop, they have like 8 different bullet points. So what you do is we're actually tailoring it to the position you're applying for, right? You pick and choose the ones that are most relevant to create just the perfect section like this. And if you've ever worked at a coffee shop and you're wondering how to highlight your experience on your resume, I actually have a full video on that where I show you how to thoroughly highlight which skills and experiences from the coffee shop on your resume. And also, if you maybe have experience working at a retail store, retail chain like a Walmart or Target or Costco, and you have too many bullet points, well, same thing here. You pick and choose the ones that are most relevant to create just the perfect section on your resume like this. And also have a video on how to create something like that if you're wondering. Well, that brings us to the 7th most common mistake here is the inappropriate font, because we don't want our resume to look like a ransom note. So inappropriate fonts are not ATS recognized, so they're also not ATS friendly. They're also very difficult to read. They can be very difficult to read and not space efficient. What do I mean by this? Well, if you use an appropriate font, you'll be able to fit maybe 500 to 600 words to highlight your skills, experience, and skills on your resume, as compared to inappropriate fonts, which are not space efficient, so you might only be able to use about 300 to 400 words. So you lose out on that 100 and 200 words to highlight yourself on your resume to appeal that. So solution here, I actually have another video on some of the best and worst resume and CV fonts with some examples. And in this video, I discuss the elements of what a good font should have, and share with you about 5 or 6 different the best fonts using examples right from a resume, and also give you a list of some of the worst fonts that for the resume. So anyhow, in this video, we talked about some of the common mistakes, including these 7, and I still have like 15 or 16 more to share in the part 2 and part 3, and also gave you solutions on how to fix these common mistakes. And that brings us to some other resume and CV tips. So I mentioned the word ATS quite a few times. It stands for the Applicant Tracking System. It's actually used by about 99% of Fortune 500 companies by JobScan. It might be worthwhile for you to get to know how it works and what it is on just the very surface level, and I actually have a video on that, so you might want to go and check that one out. And if you are not sure where to even get started with your resume, or if you know someone who needs help getting started with their resume, I have a video that goes from a complete blank page to something like this in about 20 minutes. So that might be worthwhile to also take a look at. Anyhow, I'm Professor Job Offer, and I'm here to help you land your next job offer. Thanks for watching.